Hello friends of the electrified charging fun, and welcome to a very specific topic. Dog and the Enyaq Coupé. Transporting your dog in something like a Coupé, well, for me the Enyaq Coupé is not a Coupé. Well, basically it's an SUV with a hatchback, but the hatchback just reduces the amount of space for a dog kennel or a dog in the back, especially if you've got a dog which is a bit larger. And in this video we will look how to transport a dog in the Coupé, in the boot, on the rear seat, on the passenger seat. We talk a bit about equipment and if that all works together, so stay tuned. Just a short disclaimer before we start. The Enyaq Coupé was given to me from Skoda Switzerland as a press fleet out of their public relations fleet. I did not pay for it. Regarding the other products here in the video, most of them I bought myself, with the exception of 2 out of these 3 boxes here from 4 Pets. 2 were given to me for free. And just keep in mind, I cannot afford buying everything to be as independent as possible. I cannot just buy another car for 50 or 60,000 euros, or just spend thousands of euros for a niche topic and get all that equipment. No company saw these videos before, nor do they have any influence on my opinion. And if you now missed the dog in a dog video, well, it's quite simple. I want to reduce the stress on him as much as possible. And a video recording with a car he doesn't know, with smells he doesn't know, with new products is pure stress for every dog. Therefore, I only show him in few situations where it is appropriate, and I don't want to stress him just for the sake of the video, and I hope you can accept that, because driving in conditions he knows, in a car he knows, in a kennel he was in a dozen times, in a usual routine, is a complete different story for him than on such a stressful set like this one. Transporting the dog in the boot of your Enyaq Coupé. Well, I've opened the hatch completely. This is 2.30 meters in height, keep that in mind, but you already see there is not a lot of room available, especially if you've got the transport package down here, and of course you've got the parcel shelf, which when we lower it shows you, well, small dogs fit, but for bigger dogs this could be very, very hard. So let's remove the parcel shelf first, and of course you could stow it like this, but it's still in the way. It's not as comfy as a roller blind like in the SUV, so let's remove it completely for the sake of this video. And now you've got plenty of more room, even for larger dogs. And if you want to take care of your boot, you might want to consider to put a dog protection mat in it. There are plenty available, and this is only for protecting your boot. This is not really for protecting your dog. So the next step could be that you want a dog guard and a divider. And a dog guard would go up here, protecting the dog from getting into the passenger's room, and the divider would be put here to separate the boot into 2 different compartments, one for the dog and one for whatever else you want to put in. Unfortunately, that divider here from Skoda itself, which you get for the SUV, is not available for the Coupé. There is no way to configure it, so you have to rely on third-party products. I know of 3 companies who provide such equipment. There is Trev All from United Kingdom, there is Guardsman Dog Guards from the United Kingdom, and there is the German company called Kleinmetall. And as my research showed, Kleinmetall and Guardsman offer a specific solution for the Coupé, but unfortunately I cannot show you. It's too expensive to buy every product available just to show it in one short video, and I've asked those companies if I could use their images of their solutions, yet they never answered, and due to copyright concerns I cannot show you, but you might want to look it up online. And when it comes to that boot and a dog kennel, well, there the problem, of course, starts. Let me show you. When I put in a rather small one I bought myself on Amazon from the German company Trixie. This is really a small box, but even if I put it right in the middle of the boot, this is already too high out of the boot here, this will not close. The boot will not close and you've run into troubles here. And if you go with another manufacturer, for example for pets, I can show you another box which is just a bit wider but not much bigger. Here you go. And when you put that in, you see that it would fit up here, yet again, it's too far out of the boot to make use of this. And now you might say, well, just remove the transport package down here, right? Yes, we will do that shortly. But what if you do not have the transport package or just remove the transport package? Well, let's do this. Let's get this floor out of it and then this insert here, which is kind of easy to remove, and put the floor back in. But there's a problem if you've got the transport package, because then the floor does not fit perfectly. You see it right now. When I put the floor back in, I have that attachment of the rear seats here, and I cannot put the floor further back, and therefore I cannot put it down here in the front. And for this video, I got to remove it to show you what I mean when putting a dog kennel in that. Let's take again our 4 pets box here, and you will see there's no problem at all to fit the box in right now. There you go. It's perfectly aligned. You could easily close the hatch, yet you cannot open the door anymore for the dog because the box is too deep in the car. Of course, you could now level the box up again, yet you would need to level it up quite far, and then again the hatch won't close. So having a dog kennel in the Enyaq Coupé with its hatchback form, well, it gets difficult. Unless you have a really small dog, then of course you would find a dog kennel. But even a mid-sized dog with a dog kennel is a hard thing to solve when it comes to the Coupé. And this here, what looks a bit like the old school football helmet of Hulk himself, is the 4 Pets Caree dog kennel. And this is for small dogs up to 15 kilograms, or for cats if you want a safe and sound transport in the car. And of course, as you can see, this perfectly fits in the boot, but it is not made for the boot. This box is made for the rear seat or even for the passenger's seat, and therefore you can belt it to the seat, or as an accessory you can get those Isofix clamps and attach it to the Isofix holders. So if you now want to put that 4 Pets Caree dog kennel on the rear seat, it's kind of easy. Just put it in on the seat, and now when you've got the additional accessory, the Isofix, just open the hatches here from the Isofix, take the Isofix and just clamp it on. It's kind of easy. Next thing, when clamped, is pull it tight just here on the front towards the rear seat. And basically that's it, you're already done. And when you now do an emergency brake, your dog can't fly away. There is no option to do so. And access you've got from both sides. You've got it from here, and of course from the other side for your dog, small dogs, or for your cat. Before I forget, the best thing is now you've got a lot of space on the side of the box. There's a full passenger seat available, and even the middle part is free. So yes, this only works with small dogs or cats, but it could be a good solution. If you now want to install Hulk's helmet or the 4 Pets Caree on the front seat, it is as easy as on the rear seat, yet without Isofix it's a bit more work to do. And you see, it also fits on the sport seats of the RS. Well, not perfectly, it would be better on a normal seat, but it works. And it's kind of easy. The first thing you got to do here is to remove the padding, which is easy. Just pull it out, and then I can also show you. This is it, and you can remove the padding from the cloth to clean it. And this one here is to attach the padding and the cloth to your kennel. Now you can pull the security belt, the seat belt through. You have some flap here in the middle part which you open. Just grab yourself a bit of the belt and put it in. Then, when you are here like this, just close this strap. Then put it through on the other side and close that hatch in the middle again and secure it. Now you can already put back the cloth and the insert for the dog or the cat. Secure it neatly here at the front. And now just fasten the seat belt, which is also kind of easy here on this side. Then again, you've got a strap here to secure the belt to the box. Just close that strap also like this. And the last thing you need to do is just to fasten the belt a bit, so the box is really tight to the seat. And you're done. And in case of a break, well, if you have to do an emergency brake, your pet is sound and safe. But there's one important thing, it's also here on the box. You have to deactivate the passenger's airbag, like with a child seat, because this thing should never open when your dog or your cat is on this seat. Well then, let's move to the rear seat. And when it comes to transporting dogs on the rear seat, I think the most obvious thing is such a protection mat. And there are hundreds of available from every manufacturer whatsoever. This is a rather cheap one from Amazon for showcasing. And this is basically not to protect your dog. This is just to keep your rear seat tidy. Normally you will attach them to the front seats like this. It even works with the sport seats here. Then that side part which protects the door to the handlebar up there, and then on the rear again to the headrests. And then you've got a quite good protection for your seat. But for your dog, always keep in mind that you need a safety. Therefore a safety belt. And when it comes to such safety belts, please watch the quality of the belt, because sometimes these parts here are so cheap that you can nearly bend them with your hand, and then your dog has no protection at all. This should be of high quality made steel and really good manufactured. By the way, this hook is just where you could put a child seat here, and watch with your cover that there is a way to put that through, because this will never stop your dog from getting into the front part of the car in case of an emergency brake or an accident. Well, there is also something to set some boundaries for your dog. Maybe you want to make use of a bit of the rear seat and just give half of it to your dog. Here you see such a box in action. Always keep in mind again, this is not a safety box. This will not keep your dog safe in place. This is just for his convenience, just to have a bit of a cave where he can lay down, where he has protection to all sides, and just for a bit more convenience. Therefore again, the dog belt here to keep him in his box, because he could easily jump out of this box, and to keep him safe in case of an emergency brake. Again, it is attached to the headrests of the seats, and just again look that there's a pull through for the safety belt, and on the other side there is a complete seat still usable, so you can put luggage or stuff to store there, or another person could sit here. Our dog Marley did love that box, and Marley just uses half of it. It's way too big for him. It comes in different sizes. This is one of the biggest I found, and of course it comes in different shapes and models. You can even get better seats and comfy stuff and so much, but why should you use extra padding when he is already on the padded rear seat? So plenty of options to choose from. This is one option which worked for us very well. What would a video about transportation of a dog in a car be without accessories? I just brought a few, because you are all experienced dog owners. I don't have to tell you about leashes and collars and what not. What we normally have with us is such a blanket for the dog to put it in the kennel. If he doesn't want it, he can just shove it away with his feet, but it helps a bit if the floor is rather hard. You can of course put something more comfy in it as you like, and heat could be also a problem if you transport the dog, especially here in the boot, because the ventilation from the HVAC does not come very good over into the boot. Therefore, you might want to use such a fan. This one is a battery powered one which lasts for hours and hours, but you can also power it via USB-C. And here you've got that 12-volt outlet in your boot. Just use an adapter like this with USB-A or USB-C, put it in here and connect it to the fan for endless power. And we've made good experiences with this one. On stage 2 or level 2, you don't hear it even if the car is at a standstill. Then we normally have that poo bag with us. So if you take what your dog leaves behind and can't throw it immediately away, we don't like to put it at the windshield wiper. We put it in that box, and then it doesn't smell as much until we find a garbage bin to put it in. And of course, I don't have to tell you, have enough water with you when driving with the dog. We have this little one here, this 2-piece from Skoda, where we have water and food to put into those bowls when we are traveling. And it doesn't matter whether you carry your water just in a bottle or if you've got something fancy like this stainless steel one with that leaf on it, which also is capable of serving the water directly to your dog like this. And when he's done drinking, putting it back into the bottle slowly and steadily, so to preserve the water, and then close it, which we normally use on a hike so we don't waste too much water. So accessories are a lot on the market, and you know what you need for your dog. That was just a small demonstration of a few. Maybe you want to become a dog owner and this was helpful. Heat in the car and the dog is a topic you should always be aware and concerned about. And especially with the Coupé, you might think, well, with that big of a glass roof, this is an issue and a real one. But I can assure you it isn't. As you know, I don't have hair on my head. And I would feel when the sun would heat up the interior direct. And the sun is up there right now, but I feel nothing. I drove this car over hours with direct sunlight on the glass roof, but it is not heating up. This is really well insulated. But should you rely on that? Of course not. Even with knowing this, a car could heat up so quick when it comes to a standstill and it's just on a hot day that your dog or your pet in the car can die within minutes. So in any case of doubt, please don't leave your pet in the car. Or do it the old school way. Open up the windows, open up the boot. But now you might say, but Matthias, I've got an EV. And we all know Tesla has dock mode. Yeah, but an Enyaq Coupé, an Enyaq or an Aerox doesn't have dock mode. But you have still options to climate the interior when the car is standing somewhere. And one option is, of course, the app. And with the My Skoda app, you can make use of the climatization down here and you can set start immediately. But will you rely on an app, and are you okay that this app is taking care of your pet and the life of your pet, knowing that the My Skoda app does not always work 100%? We don't do that. This is a nice option to start climatization when you're back from a hike, and it runs then for 30 minutes, by the way. You can start it over and over again. But to be honest, I would never trust the life of my pet towards this app. When it comes to cooling down the car when it's just standing still and being locked, you have some more options here in the infotainment. And one is direct climatization, which is now here as a favorite icon of mine. And now it's turned on and you've got a secure 30 minutes window for doing grocery shopping or stuff like that. You can also activate this one up there from the exit screen of the car, namely this one here, if you air condition now. When I activate it, you see this also turns green and is now activated. And configuration is done here in the vehicle menu under stationary air control. and here is the temperature which will then be applied. Next is what you can do is make use of the departure timers. As I did here already in the example, this is a bit inconvenient, but it works. You can set it to the day you currently have, let's say it's Saturday, and for a time. If I now start immediate climatization, it will run for 30 minutes. After that, my first departure timer kicks in, and after that, my second departure timer kicks in. And with that, I get 1.5 hours of climatization. Well, all the work with all the dog stuff took its tribute, and it shows. So I hope you don't care. When it comes to the Coupé, I guess it proves that it's not optimal for dog transportation, at least in the boot. The best option here is the one I think I couldn't show you. It is the dog guard with the boot divider, but you've got plenty of other options. If you want really good dog transportation, well, you should consider the SUV. Also, you've learned that the glass roof is not a concern at all, whilst heat still is one. And I think you now have a good idea what you can do with a Coupé when it comes to transport a dog and what not. And I hope this video gave you all the information you needed, and if it is like this, then please give it a thumbs up and also write me in the comments what I've missed. And if you've got already a Coupé and have a dog, please write your experience in the comments. And when you enjoyed that video, maybe you enjoy the next one, so subscribe to the channel because that helps a lot also with the algorithm. Also, I hope that we see each other in the next video, and until then, stay full of energy.